This happened to my uncle, not me. My uncle is a farmer. He had a calf that was struggling to walk due to a bad foot. So his idea to help make this better was to take it on a little walk around the farm once a day. He made a halter out of the rope and tied it firmly onto the calf so that it would stay with him. It's kind of like having a dog on a leash. Anyway, the calf was clearly progressing pretty well because one day it decided to completely bolt it across the field. This was also the day my uncle had tied the other end of the rope around his middle finger. I have no idea why at all. Long story short, the rope tightened around his finger and pulled the entire flesh off the top half of it, and it took a bit of bone from the end. In the hospital, they had to drill the rest of the bone off and then fold the skin over the end to hide what bone was left. He has a stump finger now. It was Mother's Day during my senior year of high school. I worked at a skate park, but I was no skater. The park was empty, and my coworker and I were extremely bored. On a whim, I decided to drop in on the pyramid. It's a ramp with what I guess a 120-degree angle, but I'm sure I'm wrong. I got about a foot into the drop, lost my balance, and fell. As I fell, I also was moving forward, so I tried to brace myself with my feet. I contorted my foot in such a way that I shattered the center bone and fractured the two on both sides. I have no idea what these bones are called, but if you look at your foot below the toes, it's the bones that connect to the toes. That's the ones I broke. I had to have a plate with screws to keep them together. The bone that shattered didn't have enough material for a screw to even grab onto. The scar is noticeable, but not gaudy. My mom was pissed. Anyway, that is the worst injury I've ever had. A few years back, I was playing hockey without a cage mouth guard. I was very smart at my younger age, if you can't tell. Well, in the middle of a game, a guy was skating with his head down, and as I turned to catch the puck, he slammed into me. His helmet went into my chin, and my lower teeth went through my upper teeth. I was bleeding from the chin profusely and had a concussion. 4 dental surgeries later, and I have 2 fake front teeth. I still don't remember all of that night. Definitely the hardest I have ever been rocked in my 15 years of playing. When I was like 10 years old, it occurred to me I had never looked what was in the bottom drawer of our living room bookcase. So, I kneeled on the carpet, but to my misfortune, there was a big sewing needle sticking right up from the carpet, and it sank deep below my kneecap in a right angle. It was just around the area where the doctors test your nerves, but not directly to the nerve. There I was, on my knees, feeling that something just went very wrong. I kept my knee bent and raised the trouser leg to see what was wrong. All I could see was a thread coming from deep inside my knee. I tried to pull the thread, but apparently the needle had moved and was in a different point where the thread came out from the skin. So I could not just pull the needle out by the thread. I thought I'd better call my dad since I was home alone, and I was stupid. I thought, of course, I have to walk to the phone. In order to walk, your knees must be used, of course. So I straightened my knee while the sewing needle was locked deep inside my bent knee, and I felt how the force of my knee put pressure on the needle, and there was a snap, crackle, pop sound, and there was a certain sensation of ripping flesh as the needle broke into several pieces inside my knee. But it didn't hurt that much. I didn't cry or anything. I just spent 5 days in the hospital. I still have at least one piece of the needle within my right knee.